welcome to my channel, Vibing with Alopecia. So we're going to talk about Renee and alopecia on this video. So feel free in the comments to ask any questions and I'll be glad to answer it if it's something that I didn't say in this video. So I am from Greenville, Mississippi, and I noticed that I had hair loss in 1997, 1998. And I started off using this product called Nioxin, Nioxin. I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. But I started off using this product and it is pretty good. It has a follicle booster, which is pretty much was doing really good with my hair follicles. And my hair loss wasn't that bad at the time during 97, 98. But it really started getting bad when, let's see, around 2006 maybe. I was working full-time at this time and I was doing a lot. My schedule was always busy between church work and my own personal life. And the signs to start noticing alopecia is when you become stressed, not drinking a lot of water, not eating more healthy choices. When you start noticing your edges or your crown of your head where you losing a lot of hair in those areas, then start paying close attention to the pattern. Now, when I started noticing the edges and my crown, it was to the point where one person was asked, like, what you got going on with your hair? Instead of her letting me answer it, she assumed that I had cancer. So it kind of like put me into this deep depression where at that point I started hiding. Myself. Like I will wear protective hairstyles as far as like sew-ins. Every now and then I get quick weave. And at one point I was wearing braids. When you are noticing hair loss, it's best to just go natural. At one point, I was still using perms. I stopped using perms, like my whole head, and I started just doing my edges. And it was my hair was so fragile to the point I just stopped altogether with the perm. So I went natural around maybe 2010 maybe. I stopped with the perms and I stopped with the braids as well because my hair was too fragile for those type of hairstyles. Even to the point where I started wearing like a wrap. The knot that's in the front, it started wearing my edges off, and so I started wearing a scarf where I wear the wrap with the knot in the back, and it started wearing my hair wearing it off in the back. Like any kind of hairstyle I would try to use or any wrap I would try to do, it will wear my hair thin around the edges in the front, back. It just totally just messed up. And I started getting depressed even the more because it's like no matter what I did, I couldn't hide myself from how my actual hair looks. It was bad. Like I had all kind of like thinning around the edges, around the sides, the crown, the middle. I felt like I was looking like George Jefferson around here. Like I couldn't go outside looking like that. Like I have to hide myself. And to the point I just got tired of hiding. It can be, alopecia can be hereditary, where you have family members who have hair loss as well. And I have a little bit of mixture. I I have some family members that has alopecia, and it got to the point where I started eating healthy choices. I eat more healthy choices now, more vegetables, more fruit, more baked meats than fried foods. I drink plenty of water. I do things now that will be less stressful. If I can do something, and I feel like it's not going to be an inconvenience to Renee, then I would do it. But if I feel like it's going to be an inconvenience, and interfere with my health as far as alopecia is concerned, like not being stressed, then I'm not going to do it. I had to learn the hard way to take care of Renee. So that's what I've been doing. I feel so much better now that I have taken more action to take care of me. I put myself first before anything, to make sure I'm good. Vitamins, I'm doing elderberry. I do vitamin C, D3, Goli gummies, which is like apple cider vinegar, but is in the form of Goli gummies. They're pretty good. So I'm trying to make sure that I got my immune system built up. Is pretty much what probiotics. I use that. And so when your immune system is built, it helps to not have alopecia or hair loss, because you're taking good care of yourself. You're getting the proper sleep. Exercising. Even if you have to just walk for 30 minutes, that's good. Healthy choices. Eating healthy foods. It would help to working with your scalp. Use shampoo your hair. If you have to do it like once a week, go for it. Massage your scalp, to stimulate your follicles. Do that. But yeah, I got to the point where people would, when I went to a dermatologist, and I would have injections, like they have this needle and injecting you in your scalp, and that hurt it to the point where I think I did it for like 2 months and I didn't see any results. And actually the person that did it, he gave me a disclaimer on the front end, but I was so desperate, anything to get my hair to grow, I still went to him. And he told me on the front end that he haven't done alopecia injections in years. He also told me that he got this injection from Paris. Now, whether he knew if it was going to work or not, he didn't know, but I was still desperate. All the signs were there. He wasn't even going to charge me the amount of money that he's supposed to charge for the injection. And he just charged me my copay. But because I was so desperate and wanted to, start getting my hair to grow, I went for it. But I stopped going after the second or third month. And so some years down the road, like 2018 is when I started, going to a trichologist. And I broke down in the office because you can see on the telescope, how your scalp is and how she's explaining everything. And then she begins to tell me that I am not my hair. Hair doesn't define me. And I'm looking at her like, you got a head full of hair. Like, it doesn't sit well with me when somebody tell me that I am not my hair, when my head looking like this and I can't go outside to face the world, and you have kids and adults, and you got people that will just stare at you or just ask you questions, or some probably won't ask you questions. They just talk behind your back, check you, Joan. You like, now she don't have no friends. How she just gonna let herself go out like this and her friends not tell her that, okay, you need to do something to your head, not knowing what my condition is? So I hid. I wore do-rags. I wore um, wigs, to the point where I'm like, dang, the weather outside is very windy. Like, do I need to put a cap on to make sure my wig don't blow off? Am I secure really good? I was so insecure and uncomfortable, to the point where one day I just decided to, like, I started thinking a whole lot about my concerns of my outer appearance with my hair. Because when your hair not done, you don't feel good. You just not in the mood. You just have a whole different vibe to yourself when your hair not cut, when your hair is not done. Same thing for men. Men also have alopecia or can get alopecia. You have facial hair that won't grow, your beard or your goatee's not growing. You got your hair is thinning out. When you go, sometimes it's not alopecia. You just, stressed or just worried, or you just having hair loss. And you have different kinds of alopecia. And the kind that I have is called a follicular. Bruh. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's epidermis alopecia. So, but you have different other kinds of alopecia that's out there. But just putting it out there that men have it too. That men can get alopecia as well. When you don't have the facial hair filling in, when you having, bald spots in the middle, or you thinning out, receiving line is starting to push back. Just start, taking heed to what's going on. You may can catch it on the front end and find different products that can help your hair to grow. It's just a lot that you can check into. I have a cousin that sells royal drops. I will drop her information in the description box below, and you can check her out. I've seen different testimonies where people are noticing hair growth, and it works. From other people. I've tried it, and it works. But my patience got very thin, to the point where I didn't want to hide anymore. I didn't want to be depressed anymore. And I was like, yep, let's go ahead on and get it all shaved off. And once I did that, I feel so much better. Like, I can go outside, I can face the world, I can answer any questions as to why I'm bald-headed. Because you have different questions. Like, people will assume that you are a lesbian. You playing the part as a stud or a butch, or you're a boy, or you have cancer. And I'm like, I'm none of the above. Like, I'm straight, I'm a woman, and I don't have cancer. It's just alopecia, which is hair loss. So hearing different things like that will put you in the mindset like, dog, like, why I got to be all this and I'm not even that? But that's just the world that we live in, that people, just accuse you of having this and that. Check you all the time, not knowing what your conditions is, or don't really show love, or just hatred, But I had to learn, to get some tough skin and don't worry about what people say or think about me, because whether it's good or bad, they're going to say something or think or whatever they want to think and say what they want to say. So with that being said, this is the new Renee, and I feel so much better. I really and honestly, I'm happy with the decision that I made. I put a lot of money into alopecia treatments and going to the trichologist. Over $3,000 I spent in hair products and the treatments. And if you see, one of my other videos, how the alopecia treatment went, I didn't get a chance to film when I did the hydration treatment. But the hydration treatment is pretty much is like shampooing and It's like an anti-itch, tree oil, fruits and vegetables type of products that she used herself. And let me sit in the dryer for 15 minutes and rinse it out. Put some more in, put me back on the dryer for 15 minutes, rinse it out, shampoo it real good, and then do the high frequency, which is like this one with electricity or whatever, and it's just going over my scalp. It's uncomfortable, but it don't last long. What else? The important part is making sure your immune system is built up. It helps with hair growth. Let's see. I may be missing some things, but like I said, if you have any questions or concerns in regards to alopecia, or how did I cope with this, just drop them questions or concerns in the comments, and I'd be glad to answer them. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, to the point where I feel I'm serious. I feel so much better. It's like a weight lifted off my shoulders now, that I don't have to be nervous or concerned that if somebody gonna stare at me or questioning me about my head, because my hair is all shaved off now. And I'm able to answer questions, or I'm able to, like, I was in the store one day and this lady was like, "Hey, Queen, have a good day." And I was like, "Hey," I'm like, "Thanks, and same to you." She like, "Why you cut all your hair off?" She don't even know me. And I said, "Well, I have alopecia, which is hair loss." And I just can't say alopecia and assume that people know what alopecia is. So I'll say alopecia, which is hair loss. And she was like, "Okay, how you know it's hair loss?" I said, "I went to the dermatologist and I went to a trichologist." She was like, "Oh," she was like, "Well, I have some hair loss too. Maybe that's what I have." And so I share her the information, so she'll get checked out to see if she, have alopecia or not. So it's like, I'm comfortable. Even my nephew, was looking at me and was like, "You cut all your hair off." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I have alopecia, which is hair loss." So he understood. So it's like, I'm comfortable with sharing my story now, where at one point, I wasn't here in this space where I can talk about it, but I'm able to share it. And I want to start this journey by sharing it with the world, for those who, battling alopecia as well, and learning how to embrace it. So my channel is pretty much, you will find me vibing, going out in the world and showing how, I get around and enjoying life, and in hopes that my story would, encourage others, that it's okay to have alopecia and embrace it. So you may not get to this point now that I'm at this point where I shave my head, because it took me years. This is 2021 when I finally shaved my head, and I noticed it, my hair loss, 1997, 1998. So it may not take you as long to get to where I am, but that's my journey. So now here I am. And so follow, subscribe to my channel, follow me, as I take this, embracing alopecia, vibing with alopecia. This is what I'm pretty much on now. And I drink plenty of water, and I still shampoo my scalp. I shave. That'll be another video as far as how I shave, with the products that I use. Yeah. So that's about all. This video, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm 43, And so yeah, this is, you know, the life of alopecia now, and I hope that, you know, I have answered a lot of questions or anything that someone else may have felt. And yeah, so let's get it. Vibe with your girl. I am from the Delta, just country. So you will see a lot of my personalities. You know, you may catch some sad moments. You may catch some happy moments. You never know what vibe. But I don't want you to think that it's, you know, all peaches and cream all the time, because that's not it. That's not it at all. But thanks for watching. So hit that bell when you subscribe so you will know when my next video is coming out. And you can check me out and see what I got going. Peace.